Chief Education Officer of the ICFI Group, and of course, the school leaders, educators, counselors, parents, and students with us today. We are incredibly grateful to each one of you for taking time out of your busy schedule to encourage us. At Bauer, we believe the future belongs to the builders, to the dreamers, the doers, and the disruptors. We exist to give them a space to thrive. We blend immersive learning, real-world building, and a community-first mindset to shape learners who are ready for anything. And today, it's a proud milestone in our journey because right here at this summit, we are officially launching the Bauer Undergraduate Program. We have a vibrant agenda lined up for you, featuring interactive panels, showcases from our student community, and of course, networking opportunity. You'll get to hear about the Bauer way of learning, meet the people behind it, and connect with a network of thinkers, makers, and mentors. Whether you're here to explore, support, or be inspired, there is something for everyone. We would strongly urge that you participate in the discussions we hold here today by sharing your views. Our goal today here is not just to inform you, but to ignite your entrepreneurial ambition. We hope you leave tonight with more questions, more energy, and maybe even a new sense of what's possible. As we like to say here at Bauer, build or go home. Let that be a challenge or an encouragement. Whatever makes you become bold and take ownership to not just write your own destiny, but to define how the future looks for this country and for the world. To the ones who live by the principle of Carpe Diem and believe in making each moment count, we have booths set up to take your first step towards becoming a member of the Bauer community. We have our team members present and ever willing to guide you when you decide to take the Bauer Entrepreneurship Aptitude Test. And start ascending the steps that will take you through Bauer and onto the future that you know you deserve. So, to everyone, students, parents, educators, entrepreneurs, and guests, thank you for being a part of this moment. Thank you for believing in what we are building, and thank you for showing up for the future of education. Enjoy the summit, soak in the conversation, and let's celebrate this new beginning together. We have some refreshments arranged for you. Please enjoy those as you immerse in the evening that we have planned for you. Once again, from behalf of the entire Bauer team, welcome to Bauer UG Summit. Without further ado, we would begin the propitious day with an insightful panel discussion on the topic of breaking the myths of entrepreneurship. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as we welcome our esteemed panelists. Dr. Raj Narayanam, an entrepreneur and investor, passionate about building impactful technology solutions for the business world, a committed supporter of the Indian startup ecosystem. He actively invests in, mentors, and champions emerging ventures. He has played a key role in founding and scaling successful companies such as Zaggle, one of India's fastest growing fintech firms, and eYantra. He is a trailblazer in corporate merchandising. His journey is driven by a deep belief in innovation, mentorship, and the power of bold ideas. Our next panelist is none other than our beloved MSR, the ex-CEO of T-Hub of Hyderabad. He brings over 30 years of experience in tech and innovation. He has co-founded and successfully exited 2 ventures, August and Network Solutions. As a partner at Social Venture Partners and a charter member of TIE, he mentors startups and social enterprises. A certified innovation coach, he is deeply committed to fostering entrepreneurship. He is also our guiding light as a respected member of our advisory committee. Our next panelist, Mr. Sandeep Bomireddy, is the co-founder of Add-on-Mo. He is driving his vision to build the world's largest hyper-targeted digital out-of-home ad network. An IIT Indore graduate in computer science, he is passionate about creating innovative tech-driven products. Joining the panel with them, we have Ms. Sapna Grover, A data and AI leader at Microsoft, Ms. Sapna brings over 28 years of product and organizational expertise across startups, government, and large enterprises. A seasoned product coach, advisor, and angel investor, she blends visionary thinking with hands-on execution. And to moderate this panel, we have Ms. Muskan Bhola from Team Bauer. As head of operations at Bauer School, she drives execution, efficiency, and process optimization across key functions. From faculty coordination to strategic planning, she plays a critical role in building the operational backbone that powers Bauer's vision for entrepreneurial impact. Please give a huge round of applause for them. Hi everyone. Hi everyone.
Hey, check. Hello, check. Hello, hello.
Hi everyone, very good evening to all, and thank you to all our panelists for being here, and we are ready to take your insights for our undergraduate students. So, like we're here to bust the myths about entrepreneurship. So my first question about the first myth, you need a perfect plan to start with a venture. So to MSR sir, I wanted to ask you, you have worked around hundreds of startups. So do you still feel that this is a myth that needs to be busted?
You need to have a perfect plan to start a
Right.
startup. Okay, I have two entrepreneurs sitting here in front of me. Okay, two successful entrepreneurs. Sandeep and Raj, and I've also done a little bit in that space. So I think first of all, there's no such thing as a perfect plan, right? And if you could just make a plan on paper, and if that happens, then 100% of all the startups which begin would have been successful, right? We all know the success rate is probably 1 in 10 or thereabouts. And I think first of all, any startup, when you begin, for example, when Raj started Zaggle or when Sandeep started, I don't know, and I think I still remember Sandeep telling us how he started, right? I still remember, said on taxis, he was trying to set up these kind of quote unquote walking billboards and then move to now this out of home media. You should listen to that story.
Definitely.
It's quite funny in some ways, but also very educative. Right? So I think first of all, a startup, when you think of a startup, you are venturing into unknown territory. It's uncertain, one. Second is, in many cases, you may be creating a market which doesn't exist. Okay, so data on market and all of that is limited. You are working on a hypothesis, okay, which is not necessarily proven. You have to still figure out what will work, what will not work, right? So if you think about it, right, when you think about how one framework to think about, so you have known problems, you have known solutions, you have known problems, you have unknown solutions, okay, and in some cases you have unknown problems and unknown solutions, right? So most startups will begin with, in many cases, saying there is a problem which they've identified and trying to figure out how they can solve for it. How can they solve for it in a manner which is differentiated, okay? where they can monetize and build scale and so on. So essentially, it is about navigating uncertainty. One. Second, it's about experimenting, this leap to the unknown and iterating as you go along, right? So if you think you should wait for a startup to begin, to commence your journey after having figured out everything, you will never start, right? It's like this. You can watch as many, videos on swimming on YouTube, but until you get into the water, you will never figure out how to swim. So at some point, you have to gather courage, take the risk, and step into the water. So that's one. But having said that, I think there are a few things you can do before you start. Right? First is try and spend some time understanding what is the problem you are trying to solve. Okay, is it a real problem, or is it something which exists only in your imagination? And the way you can do it is by talking to a number of people. Okay, talk to people who could be potential consumers, whether it's businesses or individuals, etc. What we call trying to figure out this problem solution or fit sort of thing. Second is obviously you can think of putting a team together, because it's generally hard except when you're an exceptional founder like Raj or Sandeep, right? Correct? To begin, on your own. In general, they are the exception rather than the norm. To try and see if you have a team, at least you may have co-founders or at least get in other people who are aligned to what you are trying to do, and then the money part, right? So, in summary, okay, you will never have a perfect plan when you start. You will play by ear literally. You will have to iterate, play around, learn by experimenting. You have to. I think the favorite word is pivot, right? Change. You start with an existing model. Then think of that model may work, may not work. You figure out the existing model may not make you money, so you have to figure out what will make you money, and so on. So it's a loop. It's a kind of circular reference model where you keep trying different things, and then obviously something will work, some things won't work. Some of the risks of those experiments could be expensive, but in general, that's how you figure out how to build.
Thank you so much, sir. You mentioned about navigating uncertainties. So my next question to Dr. Raj will be around that only. While someone is thinking to become an entrepreneur, how can we can think about navigating uncertainties while bringing the idea onto paper?
So, ideas which are on paper will always remain on paper. They actually do not convert to reality. That is what I have learned and understood. So, there is a very beautiful saying which is action before clarity. Okay, so you take an action and that is when you will get more clarity, and you again take more action to get more clarity. And that is the story, of any entrepreneur. They have taken action, that is when, they have looked at clarity. And things, while you can plan 1,000 things, but, there is hardly maybe 10% of that also you really cannot put to use, because what is theoretical remains in theory, what is practical will always be executed on the ground. Okay, so the other problem which we see with entrepreneurs is a lot of them want to perfect. Okay, so they want to be perfection is their core thing, that I have to make it little bit better, then little bit better. What I always feel is that progression is better than perfection, and the more progress you make, automatically you are reaching closer towards perfection. So in terms of trying to look at ideas from paper to reality, the best part is actually take action and clarity will come.
Definitely. Thank you so much, sir. Talking about actions, Sandeep, I'll come to you. You started at early age and you grew up so fast. So what were the actions you thought that are necessary at that age, and what made you grow so fast?
I mean, my entrepreneurial story is actually accidental. I very truly started Aronmo just to make my business school application look better. And it just so happened that the company took off. I actually got into Wharton and I dropped the admission because the company took off. So ironically, I didn't go to B school because of Aronmo, although I started Aronmo to get into B school. We'll know in time. But I think most of the time it starts without a plan, right? Like MSR was talking about. And what I strongly believe is that you should only focus on your next step. And it's pretty much one step at a time, right? If you look at your eventual extremely large goal, it'll almost always look impossible. So that's how I try and just look at one incremental step, and then miraculously doors have opened up for us every time we thought there's no way out. And although we started with screens on top of cabs, we were able to raise just enough money to survive through COVID and then pivot the model. So if we started current model on day one, I don't think anyone would have given us any money. So it's just, I think, a lot of luck and a little bit of right place at the right time.
I think right place at the right time, that's why we all are here today. But talking about money, so Sabna, you have seen people from the tech background, converting into entrepreneurship as well. But what do you feel is important for investors, like the skills or the degree?
I think the previous panelist actually set the context pretty well. So first of all, I'd say that as an investor, you're never really investing on the idea, because the plan and the ideas are supposed to change and evolve or pivot. It's the founders that you're betting on. The degree, what Sandeep was saying, I think that kind of gave the answer away. It's not necessarily the degree. While I would say that if you have like the IITs, IIMs, it does create a bias. I won't say that there is no bias in your mind, but that won't, as an investor, I won't bet my money on the degree for sure, because it's your hard-earned money. You want to put it at a place where you want 10x return. And that 10x return is basically when you see the passion, the drive in the investors, the clarity, and definitely the skill. If someone comes with a track record that they've run a startup in the past, then of course that becomes an easier sell versus a degree. So skill over a degree for sure as an investor.
Definitely. Talking about skills, I would like to jump to Dr. Raj. So, you're from the fintech background since so many years. Is it necessary, financial and technical skills are there to be an entrepreneur to begin?
I'll be very candid. When I started my entrepreneurial journey, I was about 16 years. My dad used to give me 200 rupees per month, and that was not enough in Delhi. Okay, so I had absolutely no skills at all, whichever, neither subject matter expertise or anything else. What I did was, just using common sense, which is one of the most underrated skills, overall, but that's the most beautiful skill, in my opinion. It's out there. And, I went to a t-shirt manufacturer, manufactured some t-shirts, got some prints on it, and started selling, those t-shirts in the market to my friends and family. So made some money from it. Whatever money I had got, I invested that money in share market. I did not have any knowledge, any subject matter expertise, or any understanding of the stock market. And I made my maximum money, in phase 1 in stock market, and now in my current phase, again I have made maximum amount of money, in the stock market. So neither of them I understood. So being a fintech, for me it was a very accidental entry into Zaggle. It was not something which was planned. In my opinion, it helps if you know the subject, because you are able to understand what not to do. Okay, but if you really do not understand, sometimes what not to do also gets converted to that you have to do this. So those are the kind of things and balances which you have to do. But to sum up, if you have to ask, I would definitely say that if you have some at least little bit subject matter expertise, that helps you to converse with the other guy, and especially it helps in recruitment. When majority of the your candidates bullshit, you are able to understand that what they are saying is not the truth. So that way it helps.
Thank you so much, Dr. Raj, for this advice. And my next question, luckily, is around that only. We have so many undergraduate students here who are, willing to be in the field of entrepreneurship, being a startup founder. So, what is that one bad startup advice you would want to share with our future founders? that they should not be taken here?
Okay, so if somebody tells you not to start, that is the worst advice you would get. My dad never wanted me to start a business. He always said that, we never knew what I'm doing. Majority of the times he thought, I'm into something which is not good or something which is not, legal is what was his opinion when I was bringing, so much money home. So, never ever listen to anybody, be it your dad, parents, family, etc., whoever who tells you not to start. Okay, so if I came from, starting at 16, and I think some of you probably are at that age, so you should definitely start. One advice, somebody please go ahead and do that.
Definitely. And Mr. Sir, what's your opinion on that? What's one advice you feel that startup founders should not take?
I think I'll second what Raj said. To be an entrepreneur, you have to have two things. I think first is entrepreneurship, as Raj will tell you, is like a kida. Okay, it's a kida, right? So you have to, many cases, sometimes the urge to become an entrepreneur, one is okay, problem solving and all of that, but it is also the urge to prove somebody wrong. If somebody tells you can't do this, you have to, because it's hard. Raj can now, of course, after so many years, can tell you, he's done a lot of things, but I'm sure he will also tell you that it was a hard journey, as will Sandeep, right? So you have to have, the ability to take no, you have the ability to say no, okay? And second is do what your heart tells you. It helps sometimes if you can combine your head and heart, and not only allow your heart to rule things. So just to complete this, I think do what you believe in, love what you do, and do what you love, and then you'll be successful.
Right, definitely. Sandeep.
Actually, Raj and Anas are so much more experienced than I am, but I'll actually give a counter view on this topic, right? I might not be the popular person for saying this, but I believe, if you want to be an entrepreneur first, right, you should definitely find something you're super passionate about. And it's not always that once you decide to be an entrepreneurship, you'll have something that you're super passionate about readily available. I've seen a lot of people just jump into anything, any idea that they get in spur of the moment and then pursue that for the next 2-3 years and then realize it's not working, right? My personal opinion is before you actually jump into any idea and you commit yourself to it fully, if you're really not very passionate about it, I would much rather go work at a startup. I think that's the second best thing to actually being an entrepreneur, to learn how to build startups. And then let the idea come to you, let the passion build up to solve a specific problem, and when it's the right time, you would definitely know. So especially to students, I think nowadays entrepreneurship is too glorified and it's made to look like somewhat the sports and film industry. So I think you need to be absolutely sure what you're getting into, and over the last 5 years, I think I've mentally aged 25 years and physically aged 15 years. So it definitely comes with a lot of costs that you'll be paying. So be sure, read a lot of books, talk to a lot of people, and if you don't have the best idea that you're passionate about, definitely work at a startup.
Sapna, what's your point from the corporate view?
Yeah, no, great points, by the way. It was interesting listening to those views. I'd just say one thing that I've heard from some of the entrepreneurs is that they don't want to share their idea because they fear that it can be stolen. So my piece of advice would be that the idea is worth nothing until it's executed, and that's what I think Dr. Raj was alluding to as well. It's on a piece of paper, and it's absolutely worth nothing. So share, socialize. The more you get perspective, you get an opportunity to refine your ideas. That would be my piece of advice.
Thank you so much for sharing your pieces of advice, and thank you so much for the insights for our audience, and especially undergraduate students who are here looking at what are the next 3 years going to look like if they enter the field of entrepreneurship. With this, I would like to conclude the panel discussion over here, and thank you again for joining us today.
Anyone who knows about Bauer knows about how the seeds of this exceptional institution were sown through the experience of a very young and a very determined individual. Much like the mind he has nurtured over the years and wants to keep nurturing through Bauer, he has never let age become a determinant when it comes to making an impact. For the uninitiated, I am referring to our founder and chief problem solver, Pavan Alena, who has walked the way that he is paving for the next generation of young disruptors. From his first venture that gave him a lot of lessons to grow from, to creating immeasurable impact through metamorphosis, to now shattering the roof with Bauer, he has never veered off course when it comes to his commitment to keep empowering India's young entrepreneurs. So, for the highlight of this evening, please join me with resounding applause as we invite our founder and CEO and an entrepreneur par excellence, Pavan Alena, to take us through Bauer's UG program, a unique pathway crafted to empower the next generation of changemakers.
Hi, good evening everyone. Firstly, thank you so much for coming on a Saturday, and really happy to see very diverse people joining today in the evening. We have real-time entrepreneurs, who are running their ventures here. We have students who are at the age of 16 or 17 already making some revenues that are in the crowd. There is one student of Bauer, who is already in Shark Tank, who is featured in Shark Tank and raised some fund also. We have parents who are trying to put that key of entrepreneurship in their kids. We have people from the VC ecosystem, incubators like the T-Hub. They're all here today. Warm welcome to Bauer UG Summit. Before I talk about Bauer, I wanted to talk about my schooling. I come from a place called Vijayanagaram in Andhra Pradesh. I was sports enthusiast, used to watch cricket, tennis a lot. Wanted to become a sports person, but joined IIT JEE coaching in 11th and 12th, like most of us. So with my 10th marks itself, there are a lot of people that have come to my home, they knocked the doors, they said MPC, and they didn't give option. In fact, they said you should take MPC, this branch you should join. There is about 50-60 enthusiasts who wants to crack IIT JEE. I said okay, because who comes to home and try to choose us. Then joined this IIT JEE coaching. Aimed to get into IIT, ended up in a college called VIT Vellore. And BTech Computer Science I have taken. I have taken Computer Science because I like gaming. No other logic behind why I joined Computer Science and Engineering there. Got many ideas in the college. Once I went to Chennai to get my passport. From Vellore to Chennai it's about 120 kilometers. So in Chennai, especially if at all you do not know Tamil, it's very tough to talk to the auto guys. Even though they know Tamil, they don't talk. Then few of my friends, they were suggesting that there is an app called Uber. Try to use it. You need not talk to the driver, directly the price card, everything comes in that app. I downloaded that app, and then I was fascinated to see if the driver is taking U-turn, left turn. I was fascinated to see the tracking system of the driver. I used that app, came back to Vellore, and then read the story of Ritesh Agarwal. They're saying that 18-year, 19-year-old guy, already there is a brand called Oyo. Then I started seeing what is this OYO, what is this Big Basket and all of those kind of apps. I realized that all of these apps that they are making, they are all solving a real life simple problem, like the previous panelists they were talking about identifying a problem. I saw that. I thought, okay, all of these companies can be started with a very small, real-time, realistic problems what we are facing. Because I thought all of these Googles, Microsoft and all is very tough to even understand what they are trying to do. I think what we are facing can be actually converted to a company. Then I went to my prof, HOD Computer Science. I said, sir, I have this idea of Uber. I want to do this with the school bus tracking system. What is the school bus tracking system? I said, right outside the school bus stops, there are many parents that wait every day. What if we give this tracking system to them? He said, he applauded, he said, why don't you create an assignment on this? Or why don't you kind of come up with a project report on this? I said, we've been coming up with this project report from our schools, college levels and all of that. But nothing has actually converted into the enterprise. But if at all you see people like Ritesh Agarwal and all, they're all actually running very big businesses with big teams. That's when the key of entrepreneurship has come in the final year of my college. Then I have come to T-Hub. T-Hub was there in IIIT. They said if you have ideas, we will let you in. Then I simply put 4 slides of presentation. First slide is my name, last slide is thank you. 2 slides I just put what am I trying to solve, and then I put Uber, I have edited their logo, and then I just put track my kit there. That was my idea when I was in the college. Then I have come to T-Hub. The minute I went inside to T-Hub, there is one random guy, he comes and then he asks me, what is your business model? What is your financial model? Are you a for-profit? Are you not for-profit? I had no idea. I had no idea what people are talking about. Then I thought, okay, it's not just a presentation. To make a company, there is a lot of depth that we need to know. Then started talking to the fellow founders there. I asked, can you show me your business model? Then realized what is B2B, what is B2C, what is subscription model. Understood then. Then I understood that for me to hire a team, I need to have a company registered. There is something called LLP, there is something called private limited companies and all of that. So it took 2 years for me to kind of understand legally, form a company, find a team, have some funds in the bank account and then get my first sale. After getting the first sale, I started going to all the schools. I said, this is my idea, I want to track the school buses. They said, bus Tata Docomo is giving for free of cost, you can leave actually. I said, I got this idea 3 years back. And then surprisingly, I didn't even do proper market research because last 2 years, 3 years, I've been just struggling to kind of make the app, find the team, iOS app, Android app and all of that. Then I was very much frustrated. I said, why didn't we have the basics right from the school level? What is business model, financial model and all of that? And then I started seeing the curriculums of the school. They are studying the still same curriculum what I studied in my school. Same CBSE, ICSE, Cambridge, IB. They're all, for the past 10 years nothing has changed. Then I thought, why don't we introduce entrepreneurship as a curriculum from the school level? That's when I started Metamorphosis, which most of you all are students from the schools. I said very simple thing. Just like how if I ask to solve a Pythagoras theorem, most of you can solve now also. But why are we not able to talk about what is business model, financial models, to come up with a company, whatever basics that is required, why are we not starting from the school level? Then Metamorphosis started in the year 2017, about 1.5 lakh students. They have been entrepreneurially trained right from grade 3. And in 2023 we got acquired by a company called Bright Champs. So in these 6 years, I have seen what exactly students want. The entire space of young entrepreneurship is something that I started. And then after getting inside to Bright Chance, I started asking my students, after them going to the colleges, they went to some good Ivy Leagues, they went to the best B schools, they went to the best technology schools. Few of them were in IITs, few of them went to Ivy Leagues, in fact, few of them were in Yale kind of universities. I started asking them, in the school level you have come up with a great idea, what is your current situation? I mean, were you able to start something? They said, no, actually we are all preparing for our placements. We have taken huge loans. I really need to repay those loans. And I'm waiting if I can get a good consulting opportunities. And then, that's when I realized that whatever skills that we have, they're actually not coming into the practice. That's when I wanted to start Bower. Bower means shade of a tree, right? With metamorphosis, we were able to do many butterflies across the world. Now I want to bring all the butterflies under one shade, one roof. That's called Bower. And in 2024 August, we started Bower. The vision was very clear. The vision is to become the world's best school for entrepreneurial education. In the sense, anyone who can think of entrepreneurship, anyone who are dreaming of having an ideas or already having or working ideas, I wanted Bower to be the only place where we give all the support. And in fact, with the scale that we've been operating, we're very clear that in the next 10 years, we want to bring these entrepreneurial skills to at least 1 million students across the globe. Right? Now that we are talking about UG program, right? So I wanted this to be a 3-year program where instead of them going to any of the current traditional colleges, they'll come to Bower, and it's a 6 semester program in which the first semester we are going to simulate the entire entrepreneurial journey. That means we will be giving a global problem, we will ask you to come up with a solution, and you got to simulate that. In fact, how to raise funds. In fact, right from getting an idea till going to IPO or getting acquired, whatever any entrepreneur goes through, in the first semester we are going to simulate that. We will give you fund, we will ask you to manage that fund. There will be few VCs that will be acting as the investor for your ideas. So you will see the entire journey of being an entrepreneur in this first semester. In the second semester, you will start working on your own ideas. If you already have ideas in the semester 1, you will keep building it, because parallelly there will be a lot of action that will be happening in the simulative experience. In the second semester onwards, we will ask you to come up with idea. There will be some MVP that you will be creating. Third semester you will be creating prototypes. Fourth semester you will be coming up with your own customers. There will be certain customer early market traction that you will be bringing in. Fifth semester we will be exposing you to the fundraise and all of that. Sixth semester will be the entire scale and the global experience that you will be getting. Now, while you are going to ideate, we are going to expose you to about 12 sectors. Right from education, for example, we will ask you to find problems in the education sector. We will ask you to find problems in the fintech sector, in the sustainability sector. There is something called as faith tech that has come in recently. All of these astrotalks and all of that. In fact, all the emerging techs is something that we will expose you all of these problems, and then you will be coming with the solutions to those, and that's when you will be beginning your entrepreneurial journey. Right? And how are we different, right? I mean, how is it different from the existing e-cells that are there in the colleges? Here at Bower we have 3-layered approach. In the sense, the delivery will be given in 3 layers. The first layer is academicians, where people who have been teaching, people who have been building the core of entrepreneurship, like say economics, finance, design thinking. These are the core topics that the academicians will be taking. So we have a few academicians. We have Professor Naveen Das, we have Professor Raman Saxena. So this is the first layer, the academicians. Second layer will be the practitioners. In the sense, people who have seen startups, people who have studied startups before, people who have dealt with startups. In fact, we have Amit. I don't know if it all is here yet, but Amit is the CFO of 83 Gaming. Right, it is India's biggest gaming platform that they have, and he'll be teaching how to come up with P&L statements, how to come up with the cash flow statements. And we have Mr. Rajesh Jain, who is a venture capitalist. He'll be teaching something on the fundraise. And then on top of it, the third layer would be the mentors. People who have done it, people who have seen acquisitions, or people who have seen the entire startup cycle. So these are few mentors that will be there. In fact, we have Bhanu Prakash, who is running biggest edtech platform for mathematics. Right, he's the world's fastest human calculator. He'll be teaching statistics, and also he'll be mentoring few of the ideas that are in the education space. And we have MSR sir, we have Ram of Araku Coffee. Likewise, we have about 65 mentors that have been already associated with Bauer. These are the guys that are going to guide you, that are going to build the core of the skills that you have, and also they are going to bring your theory into practice. Right, so I would love to play this. I don't know if, yeah. Audio, is it possible? Otherwise I'll skip this, not a problem. That's fine. So if you see, already there is a lot of sessions. I know most of you have attended the master classes that is there in the campus. I'll talk about the campus. So he is the chief design officer of Oppo. He is Kalyan of 5 Data. He is youngest entrepreneur Harshit. We have Ms. Sapna coming to the campus. We have Mr. Kamal from Times of India. That is Ram from Araku Coffee. Right, so this is how the sessions are going to happen. These are the people that are going to nurture you. Now, campus. Right, I mean, this is one of the biggest questions when most of you are coming here. Where is the campus? Do you have 100-acre, 500-acre campus? Because IITs or all of the government institutions are there spread across 100 acres. But I am saying that Bauer is going to be one of the biggest B schools in terms of the campus experience that you are going to get. Our campus is about 100 meters from here. It's right next to Satwa Knowledge Park. It's in a building called RMG Spire. There we have a couple of classrooms, town halls, you have collaborative zones. We have partnered with something called BeWork. It is world's biggest co-working zone. So they have created the classroom or the learning atmosphere for you all. And that's where the sessions and all are going to happen. And if at all you ask me where is our playground? We really wanted playground because we are undergrad students. We wanted the basketball court. We want the newest game, pickleball, paddle, and all of that. So we have right next door. We have something called as Vibe Active. That will be our indoor stadium, and also we are partnered with Cult. So every student who is enrolled with Bauer will be having Cult membership for your gym and boxing experiences that you want. And further, so we have T-Hub. So T-Hub will be the place where all the events and all will be hosted, all your fests, all your auditorium experience will be inside T-Hub. And then next door we have T-Works, that will be your prototyping lab, and the building there, the Arubino building, that will be your cafe. That is where we are creating. In fact, we are creating a stock experience for you all. Right? I mean, in fact, we have something called as B Cafe, where we are going to discuss a lot of ideas there. That will be our ideation zone that we have. So in this vicinity of 400 meters, you will have access to about 5 buildings across. So your sessions will happen there, and if at all you have a lab, you will have to come to this Arvindo building that is right next door. And if at all you want to go play pickleball with your friends, you will have to go to Vibe Active. And if at all there is a lecture for 500 people, you will all come to T-Hub. And if at all you wanted to explore something with, on the prototyping, you will go to T-Works. That is how we have created this experience, right? And every student will be given a co-working zone. If at all you are already having an idea, and you wanted to start working this idea out of Mumbai on a summer, you can actually walk into any of the WeWorks. So there are about 600 WeWorks across the globe, and you will be given an access. If at all you say that I'm not feeling right, I want to take a vacation for 10 days, but still I really wanted to work somewhere out, then you'll have WeWork access. WeWork is there across 600 locations, right? So that is the way of created. Tell me one college that is giving you a co-working zone across the globe. I think Bauer is going to do that. Now, how does a typical week look like at Bauer? I mean, will it be more theoretical? Do we have practicals? Is it a full day experience? Or another question that we are getting is, I wanted to enroll in some other business school, but I wanted to come to Bauer only to ideate. Unfortunately, no. Right? We are going to give this experience only for the students who are spending with us day in and day out. And so every day there will be recreational activities, there will be workshops, there will be panel discussions, there will be case studies, there will be mentorship, there will be simulations that will be there. For example, on a Tuesday morning, you come to the campus, there will be a workshop on UI UX. And if you come on a Thursday, there could be guest talk by a person from Wipro maybe, right? So that's how we have created. And yeah, so we have already a lot of clubs, already the students who have enrolled at Bauer, they have created their own clubs. We have trekking club, we have pickleball tournaments, we have kayaking clubs, all of that. Alright. Now, on what basis we are taking? In fact, so far we have received more than 500 applications. In the sense, people wanted to be a part of Bauer, but we have something called as BEAT. It's called Bauer Entrepreneur and Aptitude Test. What does this test mean? We wanted to actually understand how composed you are, first thing. Like Sandeep was mentioning, entrepreneurship is not for anyone. How can you actually build that tough skin? It's something that we are going to see. In fact, in our B test, I have taken the B test. They asked me to write an email to terminate an employee. So that is the kind of experience that we are going to give in the B test. Once you clear B test, there will be a personal interview that will be taken. In fact, I also do not know who the panel is. In fact, we have people from the VCs, or say it could be a corporate, it could be investment analysts, it could be real-time entrepreneurs that will be there in your panel. And you have to convince them why this kind of journey that you wanted. So Bauer is not for everyone. We are going to see the startup exposure that you have got. We are going to see what kind of mindset that you are in and what is your true intention to join Bauer. In fact, last Sunday when I was in the campus, there was a student who was taking the personal interview. The interview went for about 1.5 hours. In fact, the student and the committee, they started brainstorming on the ideas. And by the time the applicant has come out, she was telling me that, this is much tougher than the UPSC that is there. Right? So in fact, the kind of selection, the kind of people that we are taking is phenomenal. You will see few profiles that we have in the UG space. In fact, I think in the next presentations we'll have a couple of our UG students presenting their ideas to you all. So in the first year we are looking to form a batch of 50 students. We are planning to shortlist about 50 students to our campus, and we are going to see, you are going to see that the kind of community that we are building, right? I mean the kind of young entrepreneur community that we are building, that is something that you are going to see in the campus. Right? So this will be a 3-year experience, right from getting an idea till exiting. Whatever any entrepreneur goes through, you will be simulated to this experience. Now, are these outcomes, are you definitely going to be an entrepreneur after coming outside Bauer? I don't know, it's up to you. And are you definitely going to get a placement? Because in UG space especially, we are talking about placements. Is Deloitte coming for recruitment? Is Wipro coming for recruitment? I don't know. I really do not want to bring any of them. I do not want you guys to see as a job seekers at all. But if at all you want to gain some startup experience, like Sandeep was mentioning, you have access to the best of the best incubators. You have the best of the best startup founders coming and teaching. So you network with them,
get some kind of experience with them. In fact, most of the startup founders. In fact, the other day I have got call from a company called Pocket FM. They were saying, if at all, can you give some students, who can be entrepreneurs in residence with us? In the sense, they want you to build the entire financial business models and all of that. That is the kind of opportunities that you are going to get at Bauer. If at all you really wanted to get some real-time experience with the startups or corporates. So that will be the outcome. So the outcome could be, if at all you have a venture, we have the entire ecosystem. We have people from VCs. We have people like the founders coming in. That ecosystem is already there with us. If at all you want to put these ideas to some other startup, again we have the biggest startup ecosystem associated with us. So that could be our placements. Right? So this is a 3-year experience. Now my suggestion to you all is explore, come to the campus, see what is happening there. Explore by coming to the master classes there, interact with them, understand if you are ready to go through this 3-year journey with us. Then we take a break, then we will talk more, we will have coffee later, and then we will discuss more ideas. Right, and then again we will discuss more as we grow. And today we have the entire team of Bauer here. Talk to them, understand what we are doing, what is this entire 3-year program at Bauer is. And thank you so much again for coming on a Saturday evening, and we'll discuss more over the coffee. Thank you so much, guys.
I would now request Pawan to come up on the stage once more to be joined by NSR Sir, Mr. Prashant Mandela, Dr. Raj Narayan and Sandeep Pomireddy as we officially unveil our UG brochure. Thank you so much. I'm sure the highlights shared by Pawan has given enough impetus to the students present here to become a part of this empowering, incredible journey. As informed, our team is present here if you wish to know more about us, if you want to start your application process. However, if you want to know more before you come to a discussion, we will be hosting a series of open days at Bauer, with the first one being on 14th of April, Monday. Please do come to the campus. Now, the question may arise, what about the degree? We understand the venture building, we understand the campus, the emotions, but what about the educational degree? To answer that question, we would now go ahead by welcoming Kushagra Tiwari, representative of Manipal University, our degree partner, as he joins us virtually to share the highlights of the program. people to trust everyone, but please bear with us a little bit. We're experiencing a technical difficulty. We move ahead with our next speaker, someone who is already making waves not just in the startup world but also right here at Bauer. Please welcome Muqaddam Rahman, co-founder of Climate, a proud Bauer freshman who captured the nation's attention with his appearance on Shark Tank India. Today, he is here to share the story behind his venture, his experience, and what it means to build something impactful, all the while still holding the tag of a student. Let's give it up for Kabir.
Hello everyone. So before starting, I want to say I am not too comfortable with English. If I use English sometimes, please don't mind. So myself, I am 18 years old and I am from Assam, which is near to Kahranga National Park. So I am working on a very good international outdoor workers, we have outdoor workers like construction workers, farmers, DD workers, etc. For them we are working on a daily basis. And we are funded by Samsung and Amazon and National of Shark Tank. So as soon as I started when I was 13 years old and when I first started with 2 years. So there I saw how I made things like this and I wanted to make things like him. And from there I started working on video projects. And fast forward to 2009, 2024 lockdown came. And I got a number of free time and that's how I started working on many projects and many national and international operations. And when I was in class 11, I was taking the direct idea. As usual, I was talking about his life, how he is facing problems and all. Then we learned about how he is creating a lot of problems for them. We do climate change and themselves ideally by day. And if you look at the quality, 24 hours of hottest, so I wanted to solve that problem. government काम में घरेलू बेसिस होता है, government काम में heavy season हुआ है. So अगर मैंने started researching on this problem, how big this problem is, and in India 75% of workers have to work extremely, including sailors, farmers, agriculture, etc. And due to this temperature, the productivity of this people is losses by 30-40%. And also हम लोग government के basis पे हम लोग what about the outdoor workers? वो लोग हम लोग जिन लोगों को जाने देते हैं जैसे सुबह etc. So started working on that first made it was unlimited in last year, and then after that I got selected for tomorrow. So we got organizations, it is an international organizations, and for it between 16 to 22. And I was the leader of Samsung for tomorrow, and I was the youngest about organizations. And from that, we got on 16 of space, and after that, I was selected for Amazon facility. It was a part of the rural executive. So from that, I got some money and started working on that. And also, I got selected to the NSS and Bangalore. And also, I was the youngest senior executive. So after that, also starting as well. So you can see that it's in right family. So finally which we will develop and we see that going by video sites of Sweden and NATO. And my entrepreneur journey was started as a building when I was 13. So that's why I was business वाला start किया था. And first the parents were not supporting कि भाई music classes study well. But when I share something with you on the back side of the qualification music, music channels in India. And after that, they started hitting me where are you? And I had done after this year started my individual hours of entrepreneurship where I'm getting 100% scholarship. And not this it is more the entrepreneurship part. And the last year of the part my after I am the part of and it is very is still English RDS. And I want to say I have come from and now I want to do around 100 buyers to the entrepreneurship. Thank you.
That was really inspiring, and thank you for coming to sharing your journey. We will make another attempt to get in touch with our degree partner. Joining us, we have Kushal Kumari, representative of Manipal University.
Okay, sir. Yeah, hi everyone. This is Kushal Kumari. Actually, I am a representative of Manipal University. So, I got connected with our school regarding the requirement that we wanted a student to get involved in our graduation degree programs, that is BA. So that they can also provide the degree. So that was the main question that I got about the degree, right? So, in order to tell you about the degree, I would like to tell you that all the students who are enrolling in our school program, okay, will be enrolled in Manipal University BA course as well for the degree courses. Okay? So, in the degree course, they will complete 3 years of proper bachelor degree program, but the mode of education is going to be completely online. I'm happy to tell you that it is designed for the students just like you guys. Okay, you are going to complete your certification program from our in the entrepreneurship field. Okay, and even with the course related to that, so they have decided a very good future for you, all of your students. Okay, so it is a 3-year degree program. Okay, I would like to share you the information about the degree course. Okay, that how the course will be conducted and how you guys will be able to manage your certificate program that you are doing with our school and the degree program both at the same time. Okay, so it is a 3-year degree program where all the students will be enrolled of our school. Okay, the program will have total 6 semesters in it. Okay, just like any other degree program will be conducted, but the mode of education is going to be completely online. Okay, now let's first consider the classes. Okay. Classes are going to be conducted in 2 formats here. There will be live classes and recorded lectures as well. Now, live classes will be conducted on Saturday and Sunday only because most of the students will be doing other courses as well. Okay, just like you guys be doing the certification program. Okay, so we don't want to hamper that in any way. So the live classes will be conducted on Saturday and Sunday. On Saturday, there will be 3 live classes. On Sunday, there will be 3 live classes. So overall, total 6 live classes we will be getting. Now we are here dedicated to provide the quality of education just like any other offline regularly degree student. So that is why once you be enrolled in a university, the classes will be given by the same teachers who are teaching in our offline campus. Same teachers will be teaching you, the same experiences will be teaching you. Okay. Now, 3 classes will be on Saturday, 3 classes will be on Sunday, the time will be from 2:30 to 8 p.m. A class will be 1 hour each. After like half an hour will be a discussion session. So these are going to be interactive lectures. Now this is a very good thing. We wanted to make the course as flexible as possible as well. So that is why attending live classes is not compulsory for all. Okay. So if you are busy on Saturday, if you are busy on Sunday also, and you are not able to attend any of the live class, you have missed any particular class, that's completely okay because all the live classes will automatically get recorded as well. Now you will be getting access of our students portal, that is LMS, Learning Management System. Okay, you will be getting the access of that portal after your admission. On that portal, all the classes will be available in the recorded format. Okay. Now, if you miss any particular class on Saturday or Sunday, just log into the portal, select the class you have missed, attend it, and we will even provide you the attendance of that particular lecture. So that is the best part. Whether it is a live class or the recorded class, you will be getting the proper attendance in both the cases. Now, see, in the live classes, it is very easy to clarify all your doubts because the teachers will be in front of you, and those will be the interactive sessions. But it is our responsibility to clarify the doubts of the recorded lectures as well. So that is why in Manipal University we will assign you a specific mentor. Every student will be assigned with a specific mentor. Okay. Now the job of this mentor is to clarify your doubts of the recorded lectures. So you will be having the personal number of that particular mentor. Any doubt, any question you have in the recorded lecture, directly connect with the mentor during the working hours. Okay. And they will be there to help you and guide you for it. Okay. I hope the class structure is clear to all the students here. Now let's come to the second part. Okay, that will be the examinations. Now the examinations are the main, you can say that they are a major problem for any student who are doing some other courses because there is always a clash with other examination or with their schedule. So we try to make the examination also as flexible as possible. Okay, so your course will also go on smoothly and our course will also go on smoothly. And how we have made the examinations flexible, I will tell you that as well. Now for the examinations, first of all, you don't have to come to our college. You don't have to go to any center. You can just sit at your home and you can give your exams. Okay? The exams are going to be conducted in the proctored method. You should have a laptop or a desktop with mic, camera, and proper stable internet connection. If you have these 3 things, it will be a piece of cake for you to give the examination from any part of India. Okay? Now, this will be the one thing, but the second thing is going to be that we don't want our course to clash with any of your courses. Okay, so that is why the best part about the examinations in Manipal University is that the date and timing of the examinations will be decided by you guys only. You will be the one to decide your own timetable for the exams. That means the time and the date of the examinations will be decided by you only. We will just tell you a month that in this month the exams will be conducted, the rest everything will be in your hands. Okay, so it will be a really easy thing for you and really flexible thing for you to give the examination from anywhere, anytime at your own time. Okay, so this way you will get the flexibility, you will get the freedom to do 2 courses at the same time. Okay, so you will complete your certification program as well. Okay, and you will complete your graduation program as well. So you will get the knowledge of entrepreneurship from Bowel School and you will be getting the knowledge and education of graduation from Manipal University hand in hand. Okay, now this will be the examinations pattern. Okay. Now, because the degree that we are going to provide you, the mode of education is online, but still the degree carries the same regular offline equivalent value. Okay. You all will be eligible for the placements as well. So anyone, any student in future need any kind of job exposure in future. Okay. So we will be happy to provide you with the placement rights as well in the last semester, just like any other regular degree program. We have many multinational corporations as the hiring partner of Manipal University. Now these companies will be coming for the placement in the last semester. If you need any kind of placement opportunity, any kind of internship opportunity, I know Bauer will also be providing you with the placements and everything. Okay, but anything that you need support from us, we will be there to help you. Okay. Now the degree, that is the main part. The best part is that degree only, that you will be getting Manipal University, the legacy of Manipal University in your course. Okay. Now the degree carries all the accreditations and approval just like our offline degree. Okay. We got UGC approval, University Grants Commission. We got AICT approval, All India Council of Technical Education. We got AIU approval, Association of Indian Universities as well. We got the NAC A plus ranking. Now this is one of the premium ranking that many few universities have in India. Okay, apart from this, the best part is that the degree that you are going to get, it carries the international approvals as well. So the degree has WES approval, World Education Service. The degree has ECU approval, Association of Commonwealth Universities, and the degree got ICAS and IQAS approval as well. So it is an internationally recognized degree and properly accepted degree. So you can use this degree anywhere, anytime for the post graduation, anything you want to do. The degree will be completely accepted and recognized all parts of India and outside of India as well. Okay. Now, after the completion of the course, there will be a proper convocation ceremony held, okay, in our college campus only for the online student. So you all will be invited to the college, okay, along with your guardian. And once you will be coming to the college, will be holding a convocation ceremony. In that convocation ceremony, you will be getting your degree certificate hard copy, your mark sheet hard copy, your migration certificate, and your transfer certificate. By any chance, if anyone is not able to come to the college, okay, that's not a problem. Okay, so you have to share your address. Okay, once you will share the address, you will courier the hard copy of all the documents to your provided address. Okay. So this will be the course of BBA in Manipal University. It will be a 3 years graduation program. Okay, total 6 semesters will be there. Okay, now many students have some specific questions that is there any kind of specialization that we will be providing. So yes, Manipal University will be providing with the specializations also for the BBA program. That will be human resource management, marketing, finance and accounting, entrepreneurship management and family business, data analytics, retail and e-commerce, and digital marketing. So as you are already doing the certification program from Bauer for in entrepreneurship only, so entrepreneurship management and family business can be a very good option for all of you. You will be having a lot of things to explore here. But if you haven't decided what specialization to go for, it's completely okay because you don't have to decide it right away. Okay, first year is going to be a general BBA program. Okay, so you have 1 year of time to decide what specialization you want to choose. Get in touch with our teachers, take the help of our mentors. Okay, take proper guidance from them. Okay, that what will be helpful for them, what careers you can explore with every specialization. Okay, and once you have proper facts and knowledge about all the specialization, then make an educated decision for yourself. Okay, that which program will be good for you. Okay, and then you have to decide your specialization there. Okay. Apart from that, one more interesting thing is also there. See, as we have already did a course from our school, okay, we also know that nowadays students are interested in learning different skill courses. They want to gain as many skills as possible to better their resume also to increase their knowledge also. So that is why all the students who will be enrolling in the BBA program of Manipal University through Bauer School, we will be providing them 2 years course access for completely free of cost. Okay, you will be getting 2 years course access for completely free of cost, which have around 10,000 plus professional certification courses also. Okay, that you can do. These are 1 month, 2 months courses that you will be getting, and these are from national and international universities. So any particular skill that you are looking to gain, any particular knowledge that you are looking to gain, okay, you can do that from Coursera as well. For 2 years, it will be completely free of cost for you, and number of courses you can do. So this will be, you will be completing the course from our school also, you will be completing your BBA course also, and you will be doing some certification courses also to increase your knowledge. Okay, and once you have it, definitely you will be having a great future ahead of yourself. Okay, so this will be the course, and any questions, anything you want to ask me, I will be happy to clear them out.
A huge thank you to Kushandra for joining and for sharing the insights. As he mentioned, Manipal University will be the official degree provider for the students enrolling in Bauer. If you have any questions, we have the booths set up. Our team members are there, ever willing to help you with any questions that you might have. We also have booths set up for our seed and lead program. If you have any questions about those, please approach our team members. As mentioned, we will be starting a series of open houses. The first one starting from 14th, that is on Monday. Please feel free to drop into the campus. We will open the floor for a bit of an audience interaction now. I request Pawan to please come back onto the stage for a little bit of live Q&A with the audience. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask him. Let's put a pin on that. Now we are going to move on to another exceptional part of the evening. We are going to present some of the country's most exceptional, trailblazing and inspiring teenage entrepreneurs, the Bauer 18 under 18. These are young innovators who, even before graduating high school, have created business solutions that are reshaping the startup ecosystem of this country. From climate to health to society to lifestyle, these entrepreneurs are a testament to the entrepreneurial prowess of India, making a strong statement that age is no barrier to impact. Let us welcome them onto the stage with tremendous applause as they make their way to the Bauer 18 under 18 Hall of Fame. Coming up first, we have Jasmita Balichuri. Jasmita? I think she will be joining us momentarily. Jasmita? She is tackling a major problem in the food industry with her innovation, EcoCube. This sustainable, eco-friendly invention speeds up fruit and vegetable ripening using natural ethylene gas, eliminating harmful calcium carbide, and get this, it even doubles as furniture when it works. Versatile, portable, and packed with purpose, EcoCube is a testament to Jasmita's passion, research, and bold vision for a healthier world. I would ask her to please share a few words about her venture. Good evening to everyone present here. I'm Jasmita, who just completed my 10th and entered 11th. So, EcoCube was an idea which started between my lunch breaks, short breaks with introducing it to my chemistry ma'am, Sharni ma'am. Without her, I wouldn't be over here. And also my principal who encouraged me to bunk classes to finish this prototype, and also calling the carpenter from the school's backside to build my first ever prototype and present it in Bangalore for investors. I mean, let's be honest, starting something from scratch is not glamorous, but over here, EcoCube is not just an idea, but it helps people and farmers to ripe fruits naturally. It's helpful both commercially and retail. It serves as furniture, and as mentioned, it's versatile and portable too. So thank you everyone. I would request our Associate Director of Research and Innovation, Ms. Sarita, to please come onto the stage and felicitate Jasmita. Congratulations. Up next, we have Meghna. Meghna is the powerhouse behind Tinker Champs. Meghna, are you present here? Tinker Champs is a student-led movement that has empowered over 75,000 young minds across India to embrace creativity, innovation, and entrepreneurship. I request Meghna to share more about her idea.
Hi everyone, I'm Meghna, a 14-year-old from Bangalore, and the reason I'm here today is Tinker Champs, an initiative of the students, for the students, and by the students. When we started Tinker Champs in 2021, the goal was clear: to bridge the gap between traditional education and skills students need to thrive in a rapidly changing world. We equip students with the resources and mentorship to create a real impact in their communities and to spread a culture of creativity, innovation, and entrepreneurship. We've reached over 75,000 young minds across the nation through our webinars, workshops, boot camps, peer mentoring programs, and maker fairs. From launching BizBox, our entrepreneurship toolkit for rural children, to co-organizing the Tinkerpreneur Bootcamp with Atal Innovation Mission, we're proving that children can lead meaningful change right now. I would like to thank the Bauer School of Entrepreneurship for creating this platform that recognizes young change makers. And lastly, this wouldn't have been possible without the support and guidance of my mentor and my fellow Tinker Champs. Thank you.
Congratulations, Meghna. Up next, we have Ishan Jami, the founder of CabIn. Ishan? CabIn is a cab aggregator app that brings together multiple platforms like Ola and Uber to reduce times and simplify bookings for busy commuters. Ishan is here to share more about his venture.
So hi everyone, good evening. My name is Ishan. I'm the founder and CEO of CabIn. It's one of my ventures which I started. So I have around 3 ventures and CabIn is one of them. So CabIn is a cab aggregator, unlike Uber and Ola. So we aggregate the cab apps, Ola, Uber, so that you can find the best price possible for the best time slot. So let's say in Bangalore, sometimes the waiting time can go around 45 minutes. You can stretch up to 45 minutes. So what our app does is, once you place your cab request in our app, it in turn places a request in Ola, Uber and other cab apps. And then which one is confirmed earlier, you get the booking in your app and then you can make the payment in our app. The finance model is just 15 rupees if the cab price is more than 300 rupees. Thank you.
I request our Associate Director of Research and Innovation, Ms. Sarita, to come back up on the stage and recognize Ishan. Congratulations. We call next Shikhar Prashant. Shikhar Prashant. When Shikhar's great uncle was diagnosed with cancer too late for treatment, he asked a bold question: why isn't early detection a priority? This led to Project Agni, an initiative focused on bridging the gap in cancer awareness and early screening, especially in underserved communities. At a young age, he has proved that you don't need a title to drive change, just courage and compassion. Over to Shikhar.
Hi, I'm Shikhar Gubbi and I started Project Agni to fight cancer through awareness and early detection. I'm not a doctor, I'm just a student who saw way too many lives lost just because symptoms were ignored. We helped detect early stages of cancer in several individuals and raised over 3 lakh rupees for these camps. We held screening camps for underprivileged and sponsored the whole screening camp throughout. Thank you, that's about it.
Congratulations and a very well-deserved recognition. We call Sahiti Radha now. Sahiti, are you present? Sahiti? While we wait for her, let me just quickly give an overview about what she has achieved. She's a climate warrior.
policy reformer, and international change maker. Through her initiative, Recycle India, she has helped recycle over 10,000 kilograms of e-waste, supported 100 sanitation workers, and built a national youth movement for environmental action against 4 major cities. Her work has influenced public policy, earned international recognition from UNESCO and Meda's 25 under 25, and brought sustainability into schools, offices, and communities. But I don't think Sahiti is present here, so we move ahead with Niharika. Niharika, are you present? Again, a quick overview. Niharika is just 15 years old. She wrote A Dreamer's Mind, which is a powerful novella that dives into the emotional struggles that teenagers face in the world, and that in a world that demands constant happiness. Blending storytelling with psychological insight, her book encourages young people to be real, open, and emotionally honest. Niharika, do we have you? Moving on, we have Sharanya. Sharanya Darshni is the powerhouse behind Campus Crunch, a team-led cloud kitchen concept built right into schools and hotels. What started as a fun chat with friends quickly turned into a mission to fix the lack of nutritious, hygienic, and tasty food available to adolescents. With a strong focus on customization, taste, and team-focused nutrition, Sharanya is cooking up a food revolution. Over to Sharanya.
Okay, good evening everyone. So the idea actually started as an accident. So I set up a stall at school for charity, and the healthy food snacks we sold, really they did so well. The charity was almost 10,000 rupees. So I decided to work on that, and just then I was diagnosed with like a severe vitamin D deficiency. So that was more the reason to work on it. Campus Crunch basically delivers customizable on-campus meals which are tailored for adolescent-specific dietary needs and hygienic needs. So we usually consider school, cafeterias, hostels, and sports academy meals are not perfect for our children, which was revealed through a survey I did. And that is why Campus Crunch came over, and it actually aims to deliver that food, making healthy food a trend, which is also fun and aesthetic. And yeah, that's about it. So thank you so much, Baba, for this.
That, of course, were few of the 18 trailblazers whom we had recognized. The rest couldn't be a part of today's event. However, we would share about their achievements on our social media handles. Do follow us. And now, it is time to hear from a visionary leader who, although couldn't be present here today physically, but is definitely present with us in spirit. He has been a constant source of encouragement not just to Bauer, but to all aspiring entrepreneurs willing to make a difference. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear a very special message from Mr. Jayesh Ranjan, Principal Secretary at the IBC and IT Departments, Government of Telangana.
Please can we event to start? Hello everyone. I'm Jayesh Ranjan. I work for the government here in Hyderabad, and I look after the segments of IT, industrial promotion, entrepreneurship, skilling, innovation. First of all, my deep regrets. I was told about this event many days in advance,
And I had planned to join also, but unfortunately I have to come to Delhi today. There is somebody pressing hearing in the Supreme Court, which has brought me here, and there is no way that I can be there in person. But I do hope that these kind of interactions, these kind of events will happen frequently, and at least next time for sure I'll get a chance to be with all of you. But nevertheless, I'm happy that I'm getting this opportunity to interact with you virtually. There are just a few things which I want to share. See, one is that when I was a student, I remember the options for our career were very few. You become a doctor, you become an engineer, or in certain pockets of the country or in certain kinds of social communities, becoming a civil servant was also considered to be a good option. And some very bright students would possibly continue to study, going abroad, doing their masters, etc. But beyond this, there were hardly any career choices and or options which were popular. But 30 years down the line, there is a sea change. In fact, now if you become a doctor or an engineer or a civil servant, people actually laugh at you. I mean, laughing at you possibly is an exaggeration, but people do notice that you are someone who is risk averse, who is just following the beaten track, there is no originality, there is no individuality, and so on and so forth. So you may notice that many people, of course, do get into engineering colleges or medical colleges, but if you have to check how many of them persisted with an engineering college career, you will find a very, very small number. I mean, the number at least after 5 years or 10 years or 15 years, and then be surprised if it is close to zero, or very minimal for that matter, if not close to zero. So what do they do? Even if they study engineering or if they study, let us say, medicine, what do they do? What are the career options? So lots of career options today. In fact, I'm speaking to you using this medium of digital. Lots of people get into the digital world, they become content creators, they are into networks, they are into hardware, they are into curating podcasts and so on and so forth. But there are hundreds of other things which are happening across the world today. And what is most fascinating, and this also is becoming a very big trend today. So it is not just about how nice it looks or glamorous it looks, but how relevant it is. So that is the world of entrepreneurship. In fact, not very far from where you are sitting and watching this video, watching this recording, is a very good engineering institution of our state, of our country rather, which is called Triple IT, International Institute of International Technology. And I'm on the board of this institution for many years now, more than 10 years now. And every year around this time, actually, frankly, in January, February, when the board meeting happens, the director brings one topic to the agenda. They typically share with us what is the placement position of that year. And typically he tells about how many companies came to the campus, what kind of jobs were given, what kind of salaries were given, what kind of international jobs were created. And it all looks very rosy. And in fact, as I recall, year after year after year, there's an improvement over the previous year. So let us say this year, 20% jobs were global jobs. Last year, there were, or next year, there will be 25%. If the starting salary was, let us say, on an average, let us say 2 lakhs per month, this time it will be 2.25 lakhs per month. So every year we see that the performance has done better than the previous year. But invariably, while the director reads out all these nice statistics and it all makes very interesting reading and listening, I ask one question. And the question which I ask every year is, how many students did not participate in the placement process? That everything is great and so much of salaries are getting offered, international jobs are getting offered, amazing companies are coming to your campus. Are there still some people who are choosing not to participate in the placement process? And again, it might be a bit puzzling to you, but the reality is that a reasonably big number of students opt out of placement. And again, this is a number which is growing year after year after year. 10 years ago when I first joined the board, maybe this number was in
a single digit, maybe 6% and 7% or so. But I can tell you that this number has crossed 15%, and it is growing year after year. So if you do a deep dive on who are these people, who are the people who, despite everything being so rosy, so positive, yet they are choosing not to participate in the placement process, and you will get some idea. So, as many of you would know, in both Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, there is a kind of a tradition of continuing your studies by doing a master's in the US. Or some students opt to go into management studies, like they complete their BTech and then they start doing an MBA. So that number remains more or less the same. Every year, X number of students, you can be very sure, will continue their studies by enrolling in a master's program in the US. Some small number, which actually is declining, will also try to prepare for the civil services. They want to write the IS exam, and some of you may know IS exam at least requires very serious preparation. So some students may feel that if I have to prepare for the IS exam, then it will get into a job, it will distract me, it will take away my time. So let me not join any company, etc. Let me sit at home or do something else, but prepare for the IS exam. So that is one set of people. But the third set, and that is the set which is becoming bigger and bigger and bigger, are students who have decided already that they do not work for anyone else, they will start their own companies. And these are the entrepreneurs. These are the people who have already kind of decided that there is something which is appealing to them. They feel that there is a need for someone to do something innovative. They feel that they have in them to be that someone, and therefore they have decided to become entrepreneurs. And I can assure you, I have kept track of some of these students who chose to become an entrepreneur immediately after completing their education, and many of them are doing amazingly well. In fact, many of you would be aware, the poster boys of today's economy are the entrepreneurs. They are the ones who are today featured on the covers of all the big magazines. They conduct podcasts. They program like Shark Tank. In fact, coincidentally, while I'm speaking to you today, while I'm recording this message, rather, IPL is going on the television in the parlor room, in the adjoining room, rather. And I can let you know that the kind of viewership and Chennai Super King is playing. So, as you have a very loyal fan following. But still, the number of people who are watching the Geo Hotstar, and I can read from the corner of my eye how many people are watching, is not even one third of the number of people who watch Shark Tank. So you can imagine the kind of popularity the current generation of entrepreneurs are getting. Where the poster boys of the current economy now. People do not know the names of the old generation of entrepreneurs or industrialists. But everyone today will know who is a Vijay Shankar Sharma, who is a Bhavesh Agarwal, who is a Ritesh Agarwal, who is a Piyush Bansal, who is Vinny Bansal, and so on and so forth. I mean, these are the people who is just to bring in gender balance, who is the founder of Naika, and so on and so forth. We also have the top women poster girls, let us say, of our current economy. So everyone knows that. So it is no more a kind of a social taboo that you have to do this, becoming an entrepreneur below the radar, not in the public. You should be in the hidden ways. No one should know that you are doing something of this kind. In the olden days, people possibly may comment that he is becoming an entrepreneur. Maybe he did not get a good job, but not anymore. If someone decides to become an entrepreneur, no one asks, did you not get a good job? In fact, many people will say that great that you chose not to get into a kind of there's an expression in English, most of the jobs that most of us do today can be described by this expression. This expression is called mind numbing. As youngsters, you may be familiar with an expression called mind blowing, like everything is mind blowing. But this expression is the opposite of mind blowing. This expression is mind numbing, and most of the jobs, the regular desk jobs, 9 to 5 jobs, are considered to be mind numbing. So if a young person says that okay, I give up on all these mind numbing jobs, I do my own thing, actually people will appreciate, society will appreciate. But the last thing which I want to tell you that many of you may have already thought about entrepreneurship,
by attending to these kind of sessions, these kind of events which Bharat School is bringing. For you, you may also get determined to become an entrepreneur. But the last point which I want to tell you is that there is an art and science of entrepreneurship. So it is not to say that India did not have entrepreneurs. There were entrepreneurs before also. But there used to be a belief that typically you require a family legacy to become an entrepreneur. Let us say your father ran a good business, a successful business, and as his son, you have a better chance of succeeding in or doing something new because you come from that background, you come from that family. So either your father is very wealthy or you come from a legacy of businesses that you are supposed to become that you are willing to become a successful entrepreneur. But this is again an old hypothesis. This has become a myth, so to say. In modern days, it does not hold true. Anyone can become an entrepreneur. I told you about some of the poster boys of the entrepreneurial world today. Very few of them. To the best of my knowledge, the names that I took, none of them. And at least Ritesh of Oyo is a good friend of mine. I can tell you about Ritesh. None of his family members, even the extended family, no one is an entrepreneur. They are all very humble kind of government employees, and Ritesh himself could not even complete his 10th grade. He had to quit because of family circumstances. But he is the founder of AO today, and we all respect what he has achieved. So all these are myths, but the point which I'm going to take is that if family background is not important, whether your father is handing over a running business to you or not is not important, then what is important? And what is important are two things. One is the art of becoming an entrepreneur, and the second is knowing the science of how to become an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is something which one can learn, which one can develop, one can cultivate, one can practice, one can regards, one can continue to improve and become better and better and better. So there are lots of opportunities today through which one can become a successful entrepreneur. There are of course lots of online programs, podcasts, TED Talks, and so on and so forth. But then there are structured ways also in which the basics of entrepreneurship can be taught, and there is no age to it. It's not that when you kind of come out of your teens, only then should you start thinking about your career or anything. In fact, this is also a phenomenon that the age at which people are becoming entrepreneurs, that is also becoming lower and lower and lower. In fact, I remember this. This happened a few years ago. I was in Bangalore attending an entrepreneurship event, and I was introduced to someone, and he was of course in his 20s possibly. But then when he was introduced to me, it was told to me that this person became the CEO of his company at 13 years of age. So when he was 13, he started his own company, and it is not a make-believe company. It is not that he is the son of a rich father who just indulged him, created a company, asked him to play around with it. Nothing of that. It's a real company with proper balance sheet, employees, line of activity, and everything. Of course, when I met him, he was 2021, 21, 22 or so. But that company was established for him 7, 8 years ago, but he was just 30. And there are many other examples. I met other such young people also who decided to become entrepreneurs or who have started their own companies. So I'm happy that all of you, even though you may appear to be young and still studying, this kind of experience sharing, knowledge exchange is happening for all of you. So I do hope that all of you will make the best use of it. As I said, I'm sorry that I'm not there in person. Had I been there in person, I could have spoken to you offline. I could have taken some questions, but hopefully, as I said, there will be another occasion, another chance. So, good wishes to all of you. Thank you very much to the organizers for at least facilitating this conversation online, and good wishes for a very useful and productive session ahead. Thank you.
I would request everyone present here to please take their seats. We have a very special announcement coming our way. Students, parents, educators, everybody present here, please take your seats. funding. So now, on behalf of Bauer School, we have a very special announcement awaiting for all of you. As the glimpses of that video showed, Bauer has managed to raise 11.5 crores in the seed fund. Thank you for that encouraging applause. We would move ahead with another empowering and insightful panel discussion. And this topic is relevant and urgent, especially to this gathering. Please join me in welcoming our dynamic panel as we cover a wide spectrum of perspectives from an academician, an entrepreneur, a parent, and a student, moderated by a seasoned entrepreneur himself as they take on the topic risk versus rewards, choosing entrepreneurship as a career. With a huge round of applause, let us welcome our first panelist, Ms. Kirti Reddy, the founder of Bolt Fuse, a hub for workplace excellence. She is a workplace excellence scientist with years of experience in leading corporate environments. She is dedicated to helping individuals and organizations thrive by transforming workplaces into spaces of joy, innovation, and productivity. Joining them on the panel, we have Mr. Ravi Vemuri, a dynamic software professional, passionate educator, and an active startup investor. Mr. Ravi brings a unique blend of technical expertise, a love for teaching, and a sharp eye for innovation. With a strong track record in building scalable solutions and nurturing talent, he is deeply committed to shaping the future of entrepreneurship. Along with them, we have a Bauer freshman, Aryan Valuri. Sage beyond his years, Aryan is deeply committed to creating an impact in the world with his ideas. A natural leader, he doesn't shy away to walk on road not taken and embraces challenges willingly, perceiving them as opportunities to grow. Moderating this discussion, we have Mr. Prashant Pandela, a seasoned leader with over 25 years of experience in tech and financial services, specializing in digital transformation, global delivery, and business strategy. He has led major initiatives at Cognizant, DE Shaw, UBS, HPGE, and Citibank, and is known for driving innovation, challenging the status quo, and executing with precision. Mr. Praveen Karimala will be joining us soon while we start with the discussion.
What a fantastic evening this is, right? So I was just talking to Pawan. He said we have over 200 people who have come in this evening, participating in this event. I'm sure there are a lot of questions. Prospective parents, prospective kids who want to pursue entrepreneurship, and Bauer is trying to make all of this happen in a very different manner compared to what others do today, right? And you had Jayesh talk about art and science. I think there is a feeling, and there's a question that's asked, are entrepreneurship made? Are they born? Are they made, right? So I think the answer is going more about they are made now, not born, because you don't need to be in a family of people to sort of be an entrepreneur. I think there are enough tools and techniques that are available today, and open up ecosystem that's helping people to sort of be entrepreneurs. So I think the theme of today's topic, I want to spend a little bit of time with the esteemed panelists today is, there's a big question that everybody thinks, right? Are we taking a big risk by pursuing a career in entrepreneurship, right? So, is it worth the reward or no? So I think those are the two questions that come up very often when when people themselves as kids or parents think about whether pursuing entrepreneurship as a career is the right thing to do or not. So, um, with that backdrop, people ask, but I think part of entrepreneurship is also about dealing with uncertainty. You can't commit anybody whether you're going to be an entrepreneur or no. And when I keep talking to people, I think there are basic elements that somebody can imbibe in, which is to sort of figure out the science of doing something. There are elements around how do I be an entrepreneur, the foundation principles and all you can go through. I may be interested today, but once I go through a program, I may decide it's not my cup of tea eventually. So there is going to be a central core who want to do something, will end up doing something in that space. There will be a peripheral core which says, I want to do this, but I don't think I have the wherewithal to do this. Maybe I'll deal with an ecosystem that supports entrepreneurship, right? Could be a venture capital assessing assets or a private equity firm assessing assets or a co-founder somewhere or part of an entrepreneurship team. And there's going to be a third circle which I think is also extremely important because you're going to deal with, as corporates morph large companies to be agile, nimble and creative and innovative, they're looking at entrepreneurship skills within the organization and they're debundling organization to smaller constructs. So I think some people might say, I want to be part of this corporate innovation teams that are there. And my favorite cluster eventually is people who think there's a periphery cluster outside of the orbital velocity is people who really want to be researchers, right? They want to do something with research and turn into an academician supporting a larger business eventually. So I think there are these concentric circles that emerge today, but nothing is out of bounds. It's going through the journey, experiencing a journey, and then coming out to where you are. So having said that, I think I wanted to open up to this conversation today to the panelists here. Kirti, I think you created something really, really cool. At what point did you think it is worth the risk from creating your own setup? So it would be nice to get your perspective. And was there a moment sometime where you said yes, no, and what convinced you to take this path? It'd be nice if you can share this with everybody so it'll be inspirational for everybody to know your journey.
Thanks, Prashant. For me, the moment I have taken the decision to start Bold Fuse, that's the minute where I felt it's worth it. And the decision what I took, I have never taken it back. I've never regretted until today. The thing is that every day I have to convince myself from the day I started this. I have to convince myself, I have to convince my family, I have to convince my friends, I have to convince my team, everybody around on the daily basis. But then what happens when we start this is
that today, because if we don't build that construct, I don't think we're creating a fabric that can really spawn and build a culture of creating enterprises and not being part of enterprises, because the next level GDP contribution is going to come through significant portions of these. So your thoughts, Billy, in terms of this, yeah?
Sure. I have a slightly longish answer. So there are two parts to it. When I was studying in a university in India versus in the US. So in India, it was very stereotypical. You go into a class, you listen to a lecture, there's an end goal. At the end of a semester, there's an exam, and you got to somehow do well and done, right? I mean, that's the cycle, that's the loop we were all in. But when I went to the US, that's where the exams are not stereotypical. They are not going to be anything, close to what we experience here. Every day is like an exam. There's continuous assessment and so on. I think when I saw that difference, I decided, I'm going to go back to India and then start teaching. So my career, right, I started teaching in 2004, and what really motivated me to come in and teach is there was an opportunity to say that, okay, we are not going to do classroom education. The chairman of IIIT Hyderabad, he said, Professor Raj Reddy, he said we have to do something different with a degree program, which is not like students go into class, but they learn by doing, right? So the question is, how do you create such an environment? And I was very curious. I was very young, and I wanted to take on something very different, right? And I thought it is possible to do that if we change the entire pedagogy into start with a problem instead of saying I'm going to introduce the subject, right? And say that by the end of the course you're going to solve this problem. And then students start thinking. They're also tuned into whatever the concepts are and so on. I think we don't use that context of the world around us, the problems that are there, that well into the curriculum. And as a result, that curiosity element is gone. Right? The mindset is more about what exam, what questions are going to come and how do I get through. And so I believe that, if the curriculum has more of hands-on, learn by doing, project-based activities, I think it is possible to get the curiosity in. Now, some of my observations here, not all students have that very structured way of thinking. I think universities provide that, where you have to show up every day, there is attendance, but then that's a good thing, having a structure. That is what shapes them by the end of the 4 years of graduation, that there's a systematic way of getting to what you want to do. I think what we do with them, once they get to the class, I think there's a lot of opportunity. Fortunately, I was part of institutes which treated placements as a side effect, not the primary effect. And so I think the mindset is also like that, but parents and students are, obviously concerned about what will, the student do after graduation. But I think when the institutions take this mindset that placements are going to be a side effect, not the primary, then automatically there's a lot of change in how everyone in the ecosystem thinks. And one last thing on that, incubators, right? And IIIT, ISB, all of these have incubators now, but I think that's not enough, obviously. A lot of incubators encouraging students to, take their projects. They have a significant time for projects. Maybe take some of those, make them real. I think would, dramatically change how these institutions will start shaping the careers of students.
Lovely. While you spoke about again one thing that institutions should not do, maybe asking you one follow-up thing on this is, what can we do more as campuses and academic institutions? One thing that we can do to reward curiosity over conventional achievements. What is one thing that the academic institutions can do to reward curiosity over conventional assessments, right? That are there, right? So outside of, we spoke about not to look at placements and stuff. Those are things that you should not be doing. Is there one thing that we can do to enable this?
Oh, absolutely. I think if I take examples from what IIIT and ISB would do, IIIT has completely changed the structure. We are not going to have departments, but we are going to have research centers. From 2001, they had 14 research centers. Today, I think I lost count. There are more than 30, 40 research centers. I think the research centers draw a lot of attention from outside in. You have research centers like smart cities, earthquake engineering, language technologies, and so on. And that also attracts a lot of research opportunities coming in. That becomes a great exposure for students who are studying there. I think that sort of pathways have to come into institutes.
Lovely. I think very good answer, and that's reflective of the 12 areas that Bauer is starting to focus on, right? That's almost like a research center for that specific area. So brilliant. Thank you. Ravi, over to you. It's great always to be in a panel with you. And as a parent, when your child expressed interest to pursue entrepreneurship, what concerns did you have? And how are you bracing yourself to deal with the uncertainty of what this outcome is going to be? It's a very simple question, but I'm sure it's a lot going on within you to sort of think about it.
Fantastic question, and most of the parents, the kids who are thinking about their future, and everybody else around here will have the same thought. Why should I enter a non-traditional approach to life? What should I do? Am I going to get the job? Am I going to get the money? Am I going to be successful? The parents are very anxious about the kids' future. They want the kids to be successfully placed, successfully on a track to success. Kids are anxious about their future. They don't know what they are learning, whether what they are learning is productive enough for them to be a useful part of society. Risk is the other side of the coin of opportunity. So opportunity is how you should look at it. Risk is just basically how it appears prima facie. I'm not going to belabor the point for all the people here. Maybe the noise, the weather, the ambience, everything is getting to you. But I will say that every person here, if you're going to start your career, you will always be anxious. What will I become? Will I be successful? Will I be received well in the marketplace of ideas? You have to learn to take risk. If you're not willing to take risk, if you're not willing to look at alternative opportunities in the lateral space of solutions, if you're thinking only in terms of 10 plus 2 plus 4 plus yada yada yada, if you're thinking only in those terms, that is the biggest risk. If you're thinking that is going to be your skeleton of support, that is the biggest risk. The risk is not staying abreast of the developments. Hyderabad is such a fantastic ecosystem. It provides you innumerable opportunities to succeed. You don't need a formal degree to make money. You can create lots of interesting applications just by understanding how the ecosystem works. Today, internet is your biggest educational university. It is a place where you can get lost, but you can also learn 1,000 ideas. And if you are creative enough, if you have the time, the bandwidth to think and ruminate and basically think about things, how you can contribute your own angle to it. If you're not thinking different, if you're not thinking individually, then that is the biggest risk. If you're not spending enough time with yourself, asking yourself, does this make sense to me? Does what is being presented to me by the world, does it make sense to me? If it doesn't make sense, what is dissonant? How do I resolve that dissonance? What is the problem? What is the solution? And how can I bridge the two? These things are important. If you are looking at a 10 plus 2 plus 3 or 4
you are already at risk. Entrepreneurship is not a risk, it's an opportunity. And you should think in terms of what are the problems that our society is facing today and how can I embark on that path. It is not easy. And like KPR mentioned, you will have too many questions, too many people asking you, are you on the right path? Are you sure? Or what the hell are you doing? So these questions are all normal, but you need to have the conviction. To have the conviction, you need to constantly spend on a daily basis asking yourself what it is that you want to do with your life. So learning in the university and applying those techniques on a daily basis, trying to parse them, seeing where the opportunity is. In the most simplest class that you may be in the first year program, you may have 20 ideas, but how do you take the ideas into a real productizable company? The risk is not thinking along those lines. Bauer is an institution I personally feel is a fantastic opportunity where you have the thinking and the mindset reorientation from a traditional mindset of expecting the educational institution to sort of make you job worthy to an approach where you are part of an ecosystem that nurtures creativity, that nurtures the ability to take risk, the ability to embark on an idea and then pursuing it to its logical end. So I believe the biggest risk is not taking these kinds of risks.
Lovely, brilliant answer. Thank you, Ravi. It takes a lot to think like that and build a culture, but I think that's to all the parents here. If you need to create a moment, I think we all have to be part of that moment. Aryan, I think question to you. Sorry for coming last to you, but in a world where most students are chasing degrees and placements, what's your driver for pursuing this opportunity, this career track, and what does reward mean to you in your journey?
So good evening, everybody. So when I talk about in today's time, entrepreneurship is not a traditional system, more of a unique system, if I must say. So very few people do it in today's time, and there are many, of course, amazing experienced entrepreneurs. And we need to today, if you talk of most people today are the more the conventional systems where you graduate from you finish your 12th grade examinations, graduate from colleges, get your placements. Entrepreneurship is more well-rounded and a more expanding topic, I must say. And so in today's time, when starting or establishing a venture of your own, the risk, of course, risks involve, of course, your time constraint, which you put the amount of effort which you put into it. Then, of course, your finances, your startup costs, which you put into the business as well. And as well as, of course, convincing your family and relatives that this is an idea which you want to pursue, or this is a career which you want to pursue in the upcoming time. And so if we say, coming to the reward, when we talk about entrepreneurship or running a successful business establishment, the reward always means monetary gains or the profits you make. Of course, I am not denying that, but that is one of the rewards which you come across throughout the journey. But moreover, rather than the financial gains or the monetary gains, it's more about the young peers or already experienced mentors you come and meet across the way. And when you're running a self-sustaining venture, the skills which you develop throughout the way are also very important. If I'd say critical thinking skills, perseverance, then of course problem solving capabilities, which should be considered and which should be developed throughout the way. And these help you to become a well-rounded and successfully expanding entrepreneur.
Lovely. That's great. I think the lens of not looking at a single metric of financial gain, but looking at what are this whole set of skills that you embedded and the experience that you are building part of the journey is brilliant. Awesome. So, with that in mind, I just wanted to open up one last question to all the panelists to get a sense from them. So, we were very optimistic, very positive about this journey. So I had one question which sounds a little bit pessimistic, but I think any decision we take is built with stress, right? So my question to each one of you all, maybe I'll start very first with you. What's more stressful? Is it the fear of failure or the pressure to succeed?
That's a fantastic question. There is always fear, there is always anxiety, there is always stress, and if you don't have money in your pocket and you climb the bus, you're going to be caught if the ticket inspector comes. These are all real problems. You need to learn to manage your life such that you have the buffer of money, buffer of time, buffer of resources to succeed. And you need to develop that strength and the conviction, the mental toughness to succeed. You need to know what you're embarking on. You need to study the patterns of failure. You need to study the patterns of success. You need to know what space you're operating in. What are the knowns, what are the unknowns, what are the, like Donald Rumsfeld said, what are the unknown unknowns as well. These things are important. You need to know how to learn. You need to learn how to play the game, how to be successful at it. What are the rules of the game, rules of engagement. So the fear is always going to be there. Fear of success, fear of failure, fear of deadlines, fear of uncertainties. This is all part of life. This is par for the course. And if you are convinced that you have to keep plowing ahead, that is the attitude. Perseverance is the word that's bandied about, and that's really a very, very good word. Perseverance. It's when you think that you will fail, you keep going. And what am I talking about? Like traditional education versus non-traditional education, right? You have to take the plunge. Nobody's going to give you guarantees, but you have to take the plunge. You have to know that there is an opportunity that's extraordinary, and you go, you resonate with that vibe, and you invest in yourself, and you basically pursue that for knowledge's sake, for your own satisfaction's sake, for your own happiness. Don't look at other people as a means of endorsement. You look at your own internal satisfaction. Have I done the job well? Am I satisfied with myself? Is there something more I can do? That is the metric. That is the yardstick. So I generally feel that you should not look at fear as a stopper or a hindrance, and you should use that as a yes, I'm on the right path.
Lovely. Kirti, to you, is it the fear of failure or pressure to succeed? What is more stressful?
Okay, so first of all, risk taking naturally brings in stress. So it's more than how we carry it, makes a difference. So when we are talking about fear of failure, we should more take it more positively so that we can build more sustainable paths in future. And when we are talking about pressure to succeed, we should be able to pair it with planning, process, and also future thinking. So when I'm talking about either failure or success or anything, we should make them both meet with mindfulness and also emotional readiness. So when we are emotionally ready, and then when we know that these are the outcomes which are going to come ahead, so stress will not blindside us, rather we'll be more prepared to take it forward. Yeah.
Very brilliant answer. Thank you. Aryan, what's your view?
So I say that, of course, the pressure and the failure is supposed to be given equal importance. So when you run, so the pro of this is, or the advantage is that the more you are, of course, the more experienced and an advanced entrepreneur, and the more you have been in that field for a longer amount of time, both of these, the amount which you face, both of these come down. So the next time, say it's my first venture, my second venture, my third venture, the fear and the pressure to succeed both come down, and you of course gain knowledge from it. You learn what not to do in the next time. Perseverant, of course, if I face many roadblocks throughout the way, I know how to counter them next time I establish a business. And also it's even given importance to, of course, you're learning throughout the way, learning from already experienced entrepreneurs as well. So throughout the way, or the more you put yourself out, if I say, in that field, and you run a business for multiple years, of course the risk comes down, as well as I'd say the risk and the failure of which you might want to succeed has come down. So you get more used to it, you're more acclimatized in the zone. So I think, of course, the more you put yourself out there is, I think, that's one of the ways of countering it.
Brilliant. Thank you, Aryan. To the academician, Praveen, what's your learned experience?
So there is this pattern of you have failures, you have successes. It's not like everyone is seeing success after success, right? I mean, I think they're very interleaved, right? We have moments of failures and we have success stories, then we go through that loop, right? It's not like we have to learn to handle both, right? So one of the most recent things that I have heard is when my son gave a TEDx talk in a school. His title of the talk was The Power of Letting Go. I was curious. I said, I'm going to come surprise me in the talk. So he said, what is the power of letting go? He said, it's the fear. Now you let go of the fear and start believing. And once you start believing, then you know how to embrace things, right? And so I think we should fail fast, according to me. That is, and I really have a lot of examples of people who play sport. They somehow embrace failure much better than a lot of other people because they've been exposed to that surely every time. They know how to handle it and they know how to learn from it, right? And I think it is our ability to learn from those failures which will help us really bounce back. And in this journey where entrepreneurship, the world is, not as structured as we want it to be, and it will throw surprises all the time. So the sooner we are able to see those and you believe that you can actually deal with it, I think it will make you a lot more resilient, and that's probably what you want.
Totally. Very, very well said, Praveen. I think this has been very inciting. I had one perspective that people keep asking me, what is the right time to be an entrepreneur? Is it early enough? Is it late stage? What's a good time? There is no straightforward answer, but in my view, not every time your first attempt is going to be successful. You go through several cycles of learning, practice, and unlearning. So if you are young enough, your ability to do multiple cycles increases, right? And like Aryan just spoke about, the network effect of meeting mentors, people, enhances. You meet a variety of people in different enterprises, different concepts. So you enrich yourself professionally and personally with every experience. Some of them will be successful, some of them not. It's great that you spin off 5 successful ventures. It's great for the entrepreneur, but you could try, 4. The 5th one could be successful, but starting early gives you the risk appetite to try these multiple cycles, right? If you're late, sometimes, you may not have so many opportunities to experiment, try, and you probably have more pressure to be successful on your first attempt, right? So you can't be free, open and stuff. So in my sense, it's about, what's the right time depends on how much time you want to give to yourself, how passionate are you about this idea. And I think the ecosystem is very forgiving, right? If I don't think just because your first 2 ventures haven't been successful, you'll not be able to raise funds, that is not right, right? In fact, they will give the benefit of idea to the effort and the idea and the founder themselves in terms of what they've been doing. So I think you'll be able to get as much success doing multiple them, and the more opportunities you give to try make several tries at this, I think we're going to be more successful, especially when you take high risk businesses. I think it's important to sort of start early. And there are several examples from Mark Zuckerberg to Elon Musk. All of them weren't successful in the first attempt. They went through their own challenges. They had big ideas, they believed in them, they morphed the ideas, they tweaked the ideas, they were receptive to feedback, remorphed themselves, and then became successful, right? So I think it's a canvas that all of us, can think about and start early if we want to take that risk, and we strongly believe this is what I want to do as an individual, and all of the ecosystem will definitely support to make all of us successful. So I strongly believe in it, makes a big difference. So that's my 2 cents in terms of, when people ask me when to start, when do I decide to take up lunch, the more time you give, I think it's better it is. And this is a great platform, for example, for us to experiment and try early enough, let's try later. But again, thank you so much for the panel. It's been very, very insightful. Good ideas for everybody. I'm hoping that everybody benefit from this conversation. And it's lovely talking to you guys. Thank you. If anybody has any questions, I think the panel is here. We can take a few minutes. Do you have time limits? Or?
Yeah, we do have time. So, any questions to the panel, please?
We'll be here to handle. Right? If anybody has questions, please.
Sure, I think we'll anyways network over dinner. So
Yeah, otherwise, I think everybody's over dinner, so we can chat there. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
sir.
Pawan, for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, panelists. So there is a quick announcement from Minister Garu. He was supposed to be here, but there is an emergency. That is why even Jayesh Garu is in Delhi. Today morning he had to go, so he couldn't come. But definitely there is an occasion where Jayesh Garu, Minister Garu will be in the campus. We'll be inviting them sometime next week, and then we'll be sharing the invites to you all when they are there in the campus. So finally, like I mentioned, so Bauer UG has been unveiled. Today is just an occasion for us to talk about what we are going to do in the 3 years. But if at all you wanted to know more insights from the curriculum, just to give you the context, so 3 years this will be full time. There will be the curriculum, which is about 3,000 plus hours of curriculum that will be delivered by the practitioners, by the entrepreneurs, and by the academicians. The degree, we have partnered with Manipal University, so you will be getting degree from there. In fact, if you will go to the kiosk, you will have the brochure of Manipal also, so you will get to know about the degree. And I want you all to see the curriculum once again. See if at all this kind of journey you are ready to go through. That's when I recommend you all to apply for Bauer UG. And today we have a lot of students from 11th grade and in fact 10th and 11th grades also. I request you all to take an opportunity to be a part of Bauer through the summer camp that we have. We have something called Bauer Seed. Bauer Seed is for the schools, K-12. And anyone who wants to apply for UG, first you will have to apply for BEAT. And if at all, I've seen a few students have come from the engineering colleges also. So we have something called LEAD. It's Leadership and Entrepreneurial Development Aptitude that we have created. Already the first batch is up and running. If at all you already have an idea, you can apply through LEAD. Again, we have several incubation, acceleration, and also the sessions that are happening at the campus. And another announcement is we have open days coming up in the campus. If at all you wish to see the campus, you wish to talk to our team, we have the campus in middle of My Home Abra and ITC Kohinoor. There is something called RMZ Spire. In Tower 100, we are on the 8th floor. Anyways, we'll be sending you the location. If anyone would want to come to the campus, do come. We have an open day on 14th, which is Monday, coming Monday. Do visit us day after tomorrow. Our team will be there to guide you through what we are doing again. Right? So once again, thank you so much for coming on a Saturday evening, guys. So we have a dinner. Let us all chat there. Let us talk about. Well, I want to hear a few of your ideas. What are your plans? If you are a parent and wanted to get some insights, we have a couple of parent ambassadors here who are going through the Bauer UG program already. We have Vijay Garu and Ravi Garu who is a panelist here. You can interact with them, talk to them, and yeah. So thank you so much, the guests. I would request our team of Bauer to come onto the stage so that people can see you all, and then we can network from here. Yeah.
Before we do that, Niharika is here with us now. Niharika is one of the recipients of 18 Under 18 recognition. She wrote, I have already shared about her achievement, but I would like her to come on the stage and share once more. So Niharika wrote A Dreamer's Mind, which is a powerful novella that dives into the emotional struggles that teenagers face in the world that demands constant happiness. Niharika, please share about your novella with us.
Hi, my name is Niharika. I recently published a book called A Dreamer's Mind, and it talks about the societal pressures that teenagers would face if they don't show like the happiest selves of themselves or any emotion that isn't like pure happiness in a public area. And it essentially talks about, you know, the societal pressures that teenagers would face from that, and how that stigma and that pressure hinders their ability to form like true identities with themselves and relationships. So yeah, I recently published it on Amazon too. So thank you. Thank you. Sarita ma'am, our Associate Director of Research and Innovation, will give her the recognition. We also have Sahiti Lada. Sahiti is a climate warrior, policy reformer, and an international change maker. Through her initiative Recycle India, she has helped recycle over 10,000 kilograms of e-waste, supported 100 sanitation workers, and built a national youth movement for environmental action across 4 major cities. Sahiti. Hi, so I started Recycle India when I was 13 years old, and it started as an electronic waste recycling initiative. We then opened up chapters in 6 major cities in India, and we realized that there was more to this than just recycling. So we started creating these circular economy systems, because with every chapter of electronic waste that we recycled, we were actually creating a stream of income for that school, campus, or neighborhood that could then be used for further climate action. After starting Recycle, now I am the youngest advisor to the United Nations, and I write international policy for climate change and adolescent girls over 51 countries. Thank you. As we draw this evening to a close, I would request the members of Team Bawa to please come onto the stage. Members of Team Bawa, please come onto the stage. I would also request our esteemed panelists, the dignitaries present with us, and the Bawa freshmen, Aryan and Kabir, please join us on the stage. Members of Team Bawa, calling you on the stage. The Bawa freshmen, Aryan Kabir, please join us on the stage. Akshan and Adit, please come on. Ms. Kirti, Mr. Vijay, Mr. Ravi, please join us on the stage. Arthe, 2 minutes on the stage, please. Anshul, please on the stage. The lead students who have joined us today, could we please have you on the stage as well? The lead students who have joined us, please come up on the stage.
What is leading?
I would request everyone present to please join us for dinner.